Elizabeth and Stan raised amazing children. I'm honored to welcome Eli to speak to you. And Jamie.
Oh, I had a joke that mine was double-spaced, but it's still really short compared to like... Okay. So a man named David Foster Wallace was a genius. He had a genius IQ and wrote genius books. He has one quote that I cannot get over. He basically says that the psychotically depressed person doesn't suddenly think death is appealing. It's the terror of the agony that they are in. He compared it to a person jumping from a burning high-rise. At some point, the falling seems a little better than the flames on their backs. He says it's not desiring the fall, it's the terror of the flames. The people on the sidewalk below can never understand unless they've been there themselves. How this relates to me, though. I too felt as if the darkness I was in could never be cleared. It was in the seconds before my mother passed that it dawned upon me. It wasn't that others didn't understand. It was that they were fighting a different battle. Some as brothers, students, mothers, fathers, friends, kids, and even a spouse. Not to try and turn this into a thing where I idolized Wallace, but he also said, everything I've ever let go of, has claw marks on it. My mother had so much influence on the students that passed through her classes and learned who she was. Some of them became extremely close to the point where she talked to them out of class often and learned about their personal lives. To me, she shaped me and threw lessons at me which I could barely understand, to be honest. But now, years later, I understand them and wish I could have learned more. One thing my dad did was always ask me about girls. To get him to stop because it was really annoying. I would tell him a tiny nugget of information. When he'd tell my mom about what I told him, she'd be upset that I didn't tell her first. Then she'd come to me, and I'd not only tell her who I liked, but ask her what I could do about it. Of course, that process didn't stop, and my dad still asks, but now I tell him everything because that process can't go any further when a piece of the puzzle is missing. Oh, side note, I want to get a tattoo that says 6/9/18 and 443, but he won't let me get a tattoo. Yeah. Yeah. My mother fought the flames of cancer for about 18 months. She didn't let them affect who she was, a mother. When she had bad days, I came home and I knew that I could drop my bag and come into her embrace. I tried to carry her with me, and I'm glad that she can come with me wherever I go. Right after she died, my sister and I sort of raided her jewelry spot to find something we liked. I took 2 rings and a necklace that says EKK Fearless. This is probably the first time in many days I've taken it off. What was odd that the day that she passed, when I had my hand in hers, I lost circulation because the hospice bed was a little taller. And I thought, if I let go, will she let go as well? With that in my mind, I let the feeling of piercing needles stay because I wanted to do everything and anything in my power to have her stay. I hate not being able to help someone, and that feeling never left me in those 18 months. I want to thank everyone, those who helped and those who gave kind words when they couldn't find a tangible way to. I would give up anything and everything for her back. I miss her, and I haven't stopped loving her. Thank you for your time.
Whenever I struggled to find my words, my mom was always there. When I was fighting with a friend and didn't know how to resolve it, I asked my mom for help. When I was writing my college application application essays and couldn't quite find the right words to tell my story, I asked my mom for help. When I didn't know how to tell the cute boy at school that I liked him, I asked my mom for help. Whether it was something big or small, and no matter what time of day or night, my mom acted as my sounding board for ideas, my best friend, and my biggest supporter. That's part of the reason why, standing before you today, I'm finding it hard to adequately express all that she was to me. I am again struggling to find my words, but this time, I know I have to find them on my own. Luckily, I got to spend 18 years of my life learning from her. She not only helped shape me into who I am today, but also continues to inspire me as I think about who I aim to become. From a young age, I watched the way she treated those around her, and saw the way she seemed to care deeply about everyone, whether it was her friends, her students, or the checkout clerks at the grocery store. My mom always made others feel respected and loved. She constantly put others' needs above her own. I watched her come home exhausted from working multiple jobs, but still cook dinner for the family, mediate our stupid arguments, and ask everyone how their day was. I saw her take phone calls after hours with students who needed help with an assignment, bring Gatorade out to garbage men on a hot day, and give hours on end to friends and family who needed someone to talk to. For many, she was a confidant, a shoulder to cry on, and a loyal friend. This was something I always knew and admired about her. But lately, as I've been reading all the stories and comments people have been writing about her on Facebook, I have come to more fully understand how much she did for others. Every time I read another story about her, I am awed at how she was able to reach so many people in only 53 short years. It seemed that she touched the life of every person she knew in some way. She truly was a gift to this world, compassionate, empathetic, selfless. I wish I had time to share all the kind messages my family has gotten in recent weeks, and all the things I've learned about her. Although I didn't realize the true reaches of her gifts, I am not surprised to learn that she made everyone feel as loved as she made me feel. Many of the stories I've read have come from her students. In her 20-plus years of teaching, she had hundreds of students, yet so many talk about the special relationships they had with her. I was able to experience her gift for teaching firsthand when I did a program called Devising Hope, and my mom became my teacher. Devising Hope is a program with ETC where high school students and homeless adults from the DC area meet once a week for a few months and talk about a lot of different topics like love, hopes, grief, misconceptions, and more. And from these conversations, we devise theater pieces and then perform them for an audience at the end of the program. My mom was able to get a group with so many differences to bond and to find common ground. Over time, I formed deep friendships with the other participants and learned so much about myself, about homelessness, and about life in general. I truly believe that program would not have been the same without her at its head. She taught, in a way I imagine she taught all of her classes, with patience yet firmness. She brought such a positive energy to every class. She made us feel safe and pushed us to open up about our hardships while celebrating our successes. And every class made us laugh. And while it's not always fun to have your mom be your teacher, I feel lucky to have been her student because I feel like I got a glimpse of what all those hundreds of GW kids write us about. Teaching was a joy for her, and she was damn good at it. It gives me hope to know that all those she taught have part of her with them, and that through her students, she will have a lasting effect on her community. As a mother, she was just the same. She was my biggest cheerleader, always so proud and ready to brag about my accomplishments to anyone who would listen. She was my friend when I needed one, but still was tough on me and made sure that above all, I was always polite, honest, and grateful. She was also my free acting coach and helped me prepare for many auditions. And when some of those auditions didn't go so well, she was also my biggest supporter as well. This past year, I had a rough experience when I was put in the ensemble for a senior year musical and didn't get a part which I felt I had worked towards for years. But my mom was right there to pick up the pieces, picking me up early from school and going through every emotion with me. She cried with me, got mad with me, and made me laugh when she knew I needed a break from the tears. This is just a small example at the type of mother that she was. I think she really felt everything that I felt. We had many fights. We were the classic teenage daughter and mother pairing after all, but I still knew she had my back no matter what. And even in the midst of a big blow-up, she would remind me that she always loved me. She also trusted me and made me feel I could be honest with her about everything, even when I did something wrong. She pushed me to learn from my mistakes and wasn't afraid to tell me when I made one. She truly was everything I could ask for, and I will always aspire to be like her as a mom. Well, maybe a little less naggy. I feel sad when I think about the fact that my future children will never get to meet her, but I am comforted by the thought that if I do it right, they will have in them the values that she instilled in me, and they will always have a part of her with them. As caring and giving as she was to others, she was also introverted and often tried to shield parts of herself, especially her hardships, from those around her. During her 1.5-year-long battle with cancer, she fought so hard, yet so privately. There were even times she hid from my dad, my brother, and me, cataloging her feelings in journals, meditating, and trying her best to put on a happy face for those around her. Even throughout the hardest time in her life, she was always trying to protect those she loved. She fought to make our lives as normal as possible. She fought debilitating symptoms and fatigue to take me prom dress shopping, cook new recipes with my brother, and help my dad prepare for his auditions. Cancer took a lot out of her, but she never let it affect her spirit. Even in the end, she was always smiling and fist-pumping when the Caps won the Stanley Cup. I know I'm going to miss watching sports with her, though you already know I'm going to cheer twice as hard for the Bears and the Caps now in her honor. I'm going to miss singing along to Taylor Swift in the car with her and going on mommy-daughter dates. I'm going to miss watching The Bachelor, sharing clothes, and helping her with her makeup. And I'm even going to miss her constant nagging reminders. Rest in peace to our clean house, because now I'm living with 2 of the messiest boys I know. That's you. But just like I promised her that I'd take care of our boys, I promise I'm going to try my best to keep things clean. I'm going to miss all the little things and all the big things and everything in between. Sorry. But I feel lucky that she is forever my mom. I know she'll be cheering me on, supporting me, and loving me more than I can ever know. Thank you.
Hello, friends, family, and those joining us on the live stream from California all the way to Paris. Elizabeth would kill me if I didn't express my gratitude first. Jamie, Eli, and I wanted to thank everybody who gave us support, a kind word or a story, a beautiful card, a delicious meal, or a generous donation. We cannot express enough how grateful we are for it. I love you all. Now, I'm really at a loss on how to start. I have so many stories that I want to tell you. How, when I first met Elizabeth at Studio Theater, I offered her a lifesaver as an excuse to talk. How we became friends. How I felt on our first date after years of being friend-zoned. Walking around the National Cathedral. How on her second date, I was blown away by her passion for colonial inauguration, where she used theater as a tool for education and change. How I read her guide for living the road less traveled, our crazy, lovely wedding, the birth of our miracle baby, Jamie, the arrival of our beautiful son, Eli, how I changed and grew as a man by her love. But as I write this, I hear her say to me, "Whoa there, Mr. Personality Disorder." There's a whole lot of I in that opening. What about me? Bam. Just like that, I knew I had to put my narcissism aside and share her passion, empathy, and love. In the middle of our cancer journey, Elizabeth was journaling about these little candles and a Buddha statue displayed on our living room windowsill. Life is off balance. Not clean looking, challenging, she wrote. But the Buddha is the tallest thing in the windowsill. Buddha is between the two candles, making his presence the focus. He's the symbol. He's the one reminding us that we are strong, individually and as a family unit. We will survive this because we have inner power. It's a choice to let go, trust, and be present. Great reminder, so comforting. Be present. Take her advice. Be present in the moment. I try and live up to her words every day. Nope, not going to cry. I was saving my tears for the big dramatic finale. The director mind directs, and the actor body does whatever it wants. All of the messages on Facebook and in cards were a gift to us. We were reading them to her as they came in. I wanted to copy all the ones that made me cry, but there were too many. So instead, I chose to focus on these words. Inspiring, example of the kind of wife, mother, woman, and warrior we now model ourselves after. Beauty and kindness and truth. My students are better because of you. Humor, courage, wisdom, and pure sassiness. Defiant positivity, love, passion for teaching positivity and creativity. Life-changing warmth, encouragement, and dedication. Mom, beacon of wonder. My mentor, my protector, my challenger, my cheerleader, and my friend. Passionate, vibrant, and caring, my second Korean mother. Beautiful artist, teacher, friend, and overall great human, she gave the gift of herself, her talent, and her spirit. Grace, infectious energy and creative support. Spunk and tenacity. Compassion, guidance, and acceptance, constant source of energy and joy. You gave of yourself when others didn't understand the value of your work, and that didn't stop you. This one might be my favorite. Master of life. Over and over, certain words are repeated. Passion, mom, love. Elizabeth was all those things to thousands of people and more. I stand in awe of how she touched people and changed their lives. How did Elizabeth accomplish this? I've been thinking about this for weeks, and I've come to the conclusion that her secret was love. She wanted to connect to people, and her love made them open up to her. Once inside their defenses, she found ways to make little improvements, a little confidence here, a little openness there. She was always present, in the moment, and authentic. I remember at the height of a breakup with an ex, my ex said, "You're emotionally unavailable, closed, and uncommunicative." I immediately thought, great use of the rule of three. Hey, wait a minute. Don't they all mean the same thing? They did, and they were all true. Elizabeth fought her way past all my barriers and defenses. She said, "I know you can, and I'm willing to wait." To a point. Finally, when I opened up and expressed my love, I thanked her for teaching me, and she said, "I knew you had it in you. We just had to get you to see it." That was one of her great gifts. Peering into us and seeing what we could be with a little support and encouragement. How do I know Elizabeth's secret was love? Because she taught me how to love. The Road Less Traveled says, "I have defined love as the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own and another's spiritual growth." She willed herself to love all of us. True love is not a feeling by which we are overwhelmed. It's a committed, thoughtful decision. She made the decision to love all of us every day. One of her favorite projects as a director at GW was Almost Maine. She just connected with the play. Her theme was to connect and to love. That was her, wasn't it? One of my favorite scenes in her production was Getting It Back. Gail shows up at Lendel's door demanding all of her love back and brings in all of his love to return to him. Bags and bags of love. When all of the love is piled on the stage, Lendel's love for Gail dwarfs Gail's for Lendel's. Lendel only has a small little red pouch. But he said he had so much of Gail's love that he didn't know what to do with it, so he had to turn it into a wedding ring. Oh, I know, right? Gail's reaction in that moment killed me every time. Now, I'm going to be like Gail and ask all of you for the love Elizabeth gave you back. Gather it up in your hearts, then transform it like Lendel. Now, I really don't want it back. Jamie, Eli, and I have plenty of Elizabeth's love. I want you to take Elizabeth's love and pass it on to someone in your circle who needs it, whether it be a jolt of confidence, a moment of full attention, or some empathetic mentoring or mothering. Pay it forward, and you will help us carry on Elizabeth's legacy of love. To my love, I miss you. I wake up every morning and I'm so thankful that you agreed to marry me. I'm grateful for all the love you gave me, for teaching me empathy, and for getting me to open up. I love you with all my heart. Thank you all for coming. P.S. Let us know how it goes. Read The Road Less Traveled and wear sunscreen.